Right, hello. I'm here again with Richard Bowser, just to pick up again on where we left off. So, hello, Richard. Welcome again.
Hello, Peter.
Nice.
Good to see you again.
Okay. And perversely, there seems to be a bit of a market at the moment in rough sleepers, because all local authorities are determined to get them off the street. In fact,
Yes.
perversely, they're using some of these purpose-built student blocks for precisely that.
Yeah.
Which is not what they intended, but
no. Well, it's the same with some of the hotels.
Yeah.
It's it's like a paradox, isn't it? That something that an awful lot of people feel very strongly about. Not wanting rough sleepers on the streets in a relatively successful economy that we have here. That we have this occurring, and now there's this huge incentive, they've literally been able to sweep them up off the streets and achieve what many people have been lobbying for many years.
Yeah, but we obviously don't know what's going to happen in the future. So hang on, I'm getting a note handed to me.
Yeah.
All right.
Hot off the press.
The shopping list.
Right, okay.
Life carries on, you see. So.
Absolutely, yeah. We're out of caviar, are we?
Yeah, something like that. And also, I was having a conversation with Ian Fletcher from British Property Federation last week or so, and well, we all know Ian, so all right, Ian, put your thinking head on. What's going to happen in the future? And he was very firm with the opinion. Well, resi's okay. That's firm. Commercial's just completely shot.
Yes.
Apart from, he says, I can just see a whole load of even more conversions of shops into resi.
Yes.
That'll just end up totally destroying the high street. I mean, it's nearly destroyed now, but they'll just totally destroy it, or give it a different feel.
Absolutely. I think, obviously there's the planning hurdles.
Yep. Oh yeah.
The time, and there will be locations which, quite frankly, are dying anyway, and are already on a pretty inevitable state of death throes in terms of secondary retail in certain locations. The prime locations, it's hard to see that occurring because planning will be used to block. We've obviously, Property Investor News, there's barely a month goes by without us publishing something in relation to retail commercial property and trends. And in fact, in the latest magazine, I'll just show you the page here. This was our latest call on the market, and that directly feed, and that's on industrial property and the outlook for logistics, which is probably the one positive area within commercial property. But of course, values for warehouses and logistics, it's gone through the roof because there's so much money chasing good product. I think and also, obviously there's patterns coming out of this, and this is being seen with lockdown, because many people are sitting online. Their wives or their partners, they're twiddling their thumbs, and so they can get onto some of these shopping sites and have stuff delivered to and that's the other thing, isn't it? With this lockdown, we've had 9 weeks of people. A lot of people are being paid their salaries. They're being you've got lots of people on furlough and what have you, but lots of people are getting a full income, but the sort of 20-25% of their income, which normally goes on disposable stuff, which is the non-necessary, that's been in some cases being stored up. It's not being spent because they're not going to the pub, they're not going to restaurants, and so therefore people have got more purchasing power, and some people have been spending that on online shopping. And that then flows through, obviously. But we've also got scenarios where warehouses are full of stuff that people at the moment don't want delivered. So you've got all sorts of complexities around that. But there's no question, going back to your point and referring to what Ian Fletcher from the British Property Federation said, commercial property, with the exception I would say, of logistics, industrial property, warehousing is absolutely, not in a good place. Offices, big offices, there's a huge question mark now about big offices in the likes of central London or our other big cities.
This kind of thing, can't they, sir?
Pardon?
Everybody could do this kind of thing. They can have video conversations.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, you cannot beat the, around the coffee table type interaction. Let's put all our thoughts on the table. You can do it with these types of Zoom meetings, but there isn't that same, and I think employers do recognize that, but absolutely, it'd be fascinating to see what emerges from this in the years ahead, notwithstanding the hopefully short-term fears we have around the coronavirus and when it will be effectively safe as a society to resume normal service. And that in itself is a big question, obviously, because there is no vaccine. There's a possibility that we might have something. There are, in the news at the moment, there's a couple of stories about some treatment options which seem to be gaining a bit of favour, but there's no magic silver bullet yet at all, and it's likely that we won't have an effective vaccine until next year. So we've got to somehow muddle through, and when I look out at the way that the British behave in comparison with the way some other countries behave, who have got much less shocking death rates than we have, you do have to question what's going to happen in a week or two, or whenever it might be, when the schools go back and this lockdown lifts. Quite, because the big fear that we must have is about a second wave. Absolutely, in my opinion.
And thank you for that, Richard. Look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you.